Three, two, one, go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of The Old Noodle. It is September 5th of the year 2015. Over here on the Eastern Standard Time, it is currently 9:45 in the morning. And over there for you want to shout that out?
Yeah, 6:45 Mountain Time. And
Cool.
This is episode 9.
Moving on
of
up,
The
man. We're
Old
about to
Noodle. I
hit
know.
the double digits,
Right?
man.
Right?
About to hit the double dig. We'll have to do
A special.
something special for double digits. Just to, I don't know. Luke, you're pretty
Creative.
prevalent on giving. No, I was just gonna say just doing giveaways. So I think
Oh,
you've
yeah,
kind of
we
gotten
could-
into that lately.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do like a Rocket League giveaway or something.
If we even still play that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny though because I know we just talked about doing our flow of topics, but screw it.
Yeah, let's
So I
just
was
go off
actually
the cuff.
thinking. Yeah, so I was actually thinking there a little bit earlier before we started because again, you've been playing around with the YouTube gaming live streaming while it's still in beta and everything. So how? I mean, what's your take on that as far as the service?
I mean, it's beta, so I don't want to give it like too much crap. And I also don't think after trying to live stream today onto Twitch that it was actually YouTube's fault last night. It's something on my end. The only issue I ran into was of last night. We've done it for how many nights now? 4, 5, maybe?
Something like that.
But
I mean,
like, and they're
at least
not
on
like
and off.
small. They're not small videos either. I mean, it's like 5-hour gameplay vids, and I've never had any problems until last night. I ran into upload problems, but again, I think that was actually my internet. But I like it right now because it's so new. You know, with Twitch being so established and there's so many like professionals on there, it's hard to like get into that niche because there's just so many. But with YouTube, I have 4 or 5 people constantly coming in saying hi, coming back out. And you even said that when you pull up your phone and you just typed in Destiny, I was on there. Like you
Right,
actually
right.
saw me on there. So
Yeah, and I think that's why I think that's obviously a hand in why you get the viewers, which is good, is the fact that if you go either it be on the website or via the mobile app, and you just type in a game that you're interested in watching, be it for us Destiny, and what was interesting to me is that I could type in your YouTube name, nothing.
yeah,
I could type it in all day, and it goes purely by popularity, revolving like that name. So it was like, oh, do you mean like this iteration of Twiggy Gaming and
Right.
da 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 da, and then it brings up like 4 pages of people that are not even remotely close to you. But I go to Destiny's live page or whatever on the gaming app or the gaming section for YouTube, and you're like the 3rd one down.
That's so weird.
And you had like 2 viewers. And so I think it's just one of those things where it kind of aggregates people who are like currently live more recently, I guess.
Sure.
And then it kind of, I mean, obviously there's a way that is in the sort criteria.
Right.
And then of course then I think it goes by the number of viewers because obviously it had most viewers, second most viewers, and then you had, like I said, like you were the 3rd most viewers at like 2 or 3 or something like that, and then there was one down below that had 0. But that's the thing, he had 0 and he was still getting put
Right
on
below me.
that. Yeah, I mean, like he was still in there, like listed. So,
Yeah. So I mean, I
and
feel
that's
like
something
if,
that I was just gonna say that's something that Twitch doesn't do. Twitch
yeah,
purely
it's
goes off
high
of
popularity.
views.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like when I'm playing like a really popular game like Destiny or Rocket League, whenever I'm streaming that, you have to go through. I mean, there's not pages. You just keep clicking load more, but you have to click that like 30 times before you get to see me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I love Twitch's service. Like it's really great, but I'm trying to stick with YouTube because they give me a chance, and I also the best part about it too is it just archives my video onto my channel. So right when I'm done, my YouTube video is live right away.
Yeah, you're
and I
already
also
taking the-
like
already taken the middleman out of it at that
Right,
point.
exactly, and I don't have to sit there and render video. I mean, of course, there's still times where I'm gonna go want to go through and make like montages or whatever, but
Mhm.
I had to do it with Twitch anyway. So at least now I have the raw footage already archived onto the YouTube channel. And
Mhm.
then also with that is when you're like watching somebody on there, you have the option to enable DVR, so people can actually, if they come into my stream and let's say I started like 10 minutes ago. And let's say I'm not playing Destiny, or let's say I am playing Destiny and we're doing the Nightfall strike, and they're like, well, I kind of wanted to see all of the Nightfall. They don't have to wait for that footage to be archived. They can just scroll to where I was previously streaming live while I'm doing it, and they can start it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's something that Twitch can't do either. And I
Right.
also like how when you come into my channel, I don't have to have the 50 viewer count for you to change the quality of my stream. If you
Mhm.
want to see my source, the whole 2 megabytes going down at 720p at 40 frames a second, you can watch that without having, to wait for me to get 50 viewers, which is pretty cool.
Right.
So I
Right.
feel
Yeah.
like they're giving a lot more tools to become. I think I could be more successful on YouTube than I can Twitch.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I think too, and I haven't looked much into it, but it almost seems like as far as like monetizing and
Hmm.
partnerships and things like that, I think they're kind of I think it's kind of easier with YouTube as
Definitely.
well.
You can start it right away with 0 viewers. There's actually, I mean, oddly enough, and I feel like people are going to spam the hell out of this, but at the same time, if you spam it, you're not going to get the viewer count that you want. But when you're streaming, you actually have the option to play an ad. So if you have like, let's say 20 people and you want to make a little bit of money on it, you can just click play ad. It'll play a 30-second ad during your stream, and you get monetization for everybody that actually watched it in your stream at that time. So
That's pretty neat. I
yeah.
didn't see. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, I
really
mean, I
cool.
haven't hit it yet because I've only had like 1 or 2 people in there, and I don't want to be that guy that's spamming the ad button at, 1 or 2
Right,
people.
right. Well, the thing is too, and I think something that would kind of almost be, and I think that there should be an option if there isn't already. But even with like the zero, the 1 to, I mean, let's just keep it low. Let's just say from like the 1 to 10 viewers.
Okay.
I think even good practice would be if you could set up like a time, like a timeout. So
Right.
you could do like every 30 minutes or every every 15 minutes, or I mean depending on actually what you could do is if streaming was more of your thing and you knew exactly how long you were going to be streaming a day, what you could do is you could take your if you were working 6 hours, then you could divvy that up between how many ads you want to show during your stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, just factor in the time of like I'm going to show 6 ads within my, so every hour I'm going to show an ad
Right. Right.
because I'm going to stream for 6 hours. And
Yeah.
if there's a way that you could set that to be like, okay, every hour from when I start, I want you to play a 30-second ad.
Sure. And honestly, I haven't looked, really deep into the ad yet, but
Hmm.
there might be that already, and if not, it might be coming. But like Twitch has that um, if you use a view bot, not a view bot, that's the illegal one. What do you call them? Like a chat bot almost,
Hmm.
where they like control your chat and they can help you like control your dashboard and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a way, but see with that one you actually have to make your own ad, and it's like let's say you're partnered with like Dr. Pepper, and like you make an ad
Hmm.
with you wearing a hat and like drinking a can of Dr. Pepper or whatever,
Oh, yeah. See, that's
and
weird.
you can automatically set that to like a time interval or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, but Twitch is all random. So you could be a guy that that has 1,000 viewers every time you stream and never play an ad on YouTube if you didn't if you didn't want to make money on it and you were just like I'm solely doing this for fun.
Hmm.
You had the option to play ads. You have the options to not play ads. So that's what's another cool
Well,
thing
that's the
about
thing
YouTube.
too, and I think is good as well because, well, there are some people that are saying like, yeah, I want to purely do it for fun, but there are other people that are doing it because they get donations every day, they get
Mm-hmm.
subscriptions every day. Although I'm not really quite sure how, because you can't. There's no paid subscription for YouTube
Right.
for streamers, so I don't know really how that. I mean, yeah, you get followers and stuff like that, but you're not paying to follow or to subscribe to them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with Twitch, you are. Um, But I mean, at the same time, until they integrate something like that,
Yeah, and
you know,
I mean, I don't know if YouTube would go to a paid subscription thing. Um, I mean, they might to keep up with like maybe that's what people want to stay on Twitch for. Because I mean, if you're popular on Twitch and you know you do it all the time and you have a lot of subscribers, that's a lot of money. I think
hmm
it's like what $5 to subscribe to somebody per month.
yeah, I think there's been like a couple of others that I've seen that have been a little bit more expensive, but like it's been like ESL and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like when big tournaments have been going on, it's almost like when you pay the like pass for the Dota International or something.
Okay.
Um, so I don't know if it's like because I at that point like I don't know how they treat it as like with it being because with the subscribing it's a reoccurring fee.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's just one of those things where it's like yeah when you subscribe to like ESL for instance or something then you're always paying for exclusive access to whatever tournaments are going on at the time or something like that for like a little bit extra money or something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, but it's been very rare, and it's only been with like a couple of channels that I've seen it actually more than $5 recurring.
Gotcha.
So, but anyway, but no, I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm glad to still know that there's interest in YouTube gaming. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've like I said, I mean, since it's come out, like I've actually been using that a lot more. I think yesterday was the first time in a while where I've actually like come home, sat down, but turned on Twitch instead and
Gotcha.
like watch people play on Twitch. Most of the time, it's just I'll come home, I'll sit down, and then it's YouTube or YouTube gaming. And I think it's just because of the thing where like most of the time I'm on YouTube anyway,
Right, it's just
and so
easier.
it's yeah, and it's almost well, and it's almost not instinctual, but like muscle memory, just about because it's YouTube, and I just click on that immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, the first time in a while that I've actually like sat down and been like, okay, like who's on Twitch right now? Like, let's go see what's.
Right.
But anyway, but that's pretty cool. I kind of hope to take a stab at it, maybe sometime today.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
I think I'm gonna try and switch this channel over to YouTube as well.
hmm
Um, so yeah, because
yeah,
then it would just be easier because then I wouldn't have to actually upload the video to YouTube after we're done. You see what I'm
right,
saying?
right. It's just
The
already on
episode's
there,
on
and
there.
people can DVR it while
Yeah,
we're doing. So they're just like, ah, crap! Like I came
I
in late
came
to the
in like
podcast. Yeah,
halfway through. I
yeah,
just want to start
yeah.
from the beginning.
yeah.
So I mean,
So yeah,
that's it's probably gonna happen.
it's the little features like that that just make life so much easier, not just for us but for viewers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's good. I mean, aside from the whole frame rate drop, which again
Yeah,
you
and I
said
think
wasn't even their fault.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I just tried to Twitch and it was doing the same thing. So I think I'm
hmm
just gonna have to do a router restart today. So
Gotcha. Okay, well, moving on. I guess a little bit of a celebration is in order. We finally hit 34 in Destiny. At least on one character. You actually hit it on two.
not yet
No, you didn't. You
because I
needed.
didn't get any drops from the Nightfall.
Yeah, so now it's the elusive etheric light is what we're in need of right now. We just can't seem to get it.
The only one that
Uh,
I got was after 20 some hours of Iron Banner
of Iron
and
Banner.
buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's what got our first characters to 34.
right.
So that's good. So my 34 was for my Warlock, which is my primary anyway, so that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually now up to like 32 and 3/4 on
Yeah.
my Hunter. So I'm about to hit 33. It's interesting because I really can't remember if I had ascended that helmet. I've got Mask of the Third Man for my
I
Hunter.
think you did.
Maybe I did, and I
You
just
did
forgot. But it seems weird because I haven't been on my Hunter
for a while.
except to buy those Kel Breaker boots or whatever from Varix.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, but I've been buying a lot of Ascendant shards lately because Xur hasn't really had that good of items in for sale.
Right.
And so I've just basically been ascending everything. Primarily my exotic weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I think this week I ascended the Well, I was going to ascend Suros, but either I already did that too, or you can't ascend it.
It's so weird.
Yeah, but I ascended the Icebreaker, which actually, to my knowledge, I thought it was actually almost all the way leveled up, if not all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, like I've barely even touched it.
It's so weird
So,
because it wrecked during the nightfall.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, during Nightfall, I mean it did just fine, and that was obviously that was what 30 level 32.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you and I have been kind of just doing things on our own.
Well, we
That
tried to get other people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's one of those things where like I kind of wish matchmaking was involved in Nightfall and higher level prisons because at least with matchmaking, you're going to find people who are, more often than not, looking to actually play and finish whatever activity that is. When you acquire someone from online, there's still that potential of like, hey, you may get a good one, but more often than not, in that sense, you get
What we've been
assholes.
getting, yeah.
Yeah, so you get people who have no, because I mean, they don't know you, we don't know them, so
Mm-hmm.
there's no personal ties to these people. So if one thing goes wrong, one thing doesn't go their way, or whatever, they give zero flips about us, you know. So I mean, 10 for 10. I mean, this is, and I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. 10 for like 10 out of 10 times, like they would either they would either leave,
Mm-hmm.
they would AFK,
Mm-hmm.
um, or like I think like once or twice, like we would try to, like they would answer you back, and then we would try to get them in a party, and then they just would never even
Yeah, they wouldn't even
show
show
up.
up.
Yeah, so I mean, just kind of a combination of all three there. I mean, we actually, and again, we're going into these higher levels, but surprisingly, with a little bit of trial and error, we actually completed both a 32 prison, which again, I know a lot of people are like, "Psh, like I can solo that. That's good for you.
Right.
But I mean, for us, like, we just go in with what we have
Mm-hmm.
and we wing it. Now, of course, obviously a big help to us completing this was my maxed out Galahorn,
Mm-hmm.
and actually it would be much easier if you had one that was maxed
Right.
and then this, that, and the other. So, but that, yeah, with that said, Galahorn obviously is a big contributor to why we're able to complete these as we do. But we got on our prime before we hit 34, like on the road to 34 for our primaries. We had gotten someone to come in to do the 32 prison with us,
Mm-hmm.
and he was one of those where like we got him in, came in, everything was okay so far, and then we got to like round 2 or 3,
You're talking about, is
and
this the one with the hive? The
uh,
hive boss at the end?
yeah, I think so. So anyway, about round 2 or 3, he just AFKs, like just goes away. Like I mean, I kind of kept him around because at least we could revive him, and he was cannon fodder for a few seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just leaves.
Well,
And
one quit with a hunter and came back as a titan. Remember that?
yeah, but
Then he left again.
hmm I don't know. I can't remember if we even finished one of those because of that.
Gotcha.
But at any rate, yeah. So good call though. So yeah, we had another instance where we had somebody join, and like I don't think that we necessarily need communication in those, like especially with all of us being at least, well, at the time, like you and I are both 33. The dude that came in was 34. At those levels, you shouldn't really need to coordinate all that well.
Right.
But this guy, yeah, like he came in as a hunter, and he he repeatedly like kept leaving,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would send you a message saying, "Invite me, invite me, invite me."
Right.
And then so he came back as a Titan and just like I don't know what he was doing, like he was just terrible.
Yeah.
So then finally he just left, which I'm actually kind of thankful for because he was slowing us down more than
Yeah, he
helping us
really
out
was.
and making it a lot harder. But yeah, going back, so then we had another guy that would just get to like the second round and just went AFK for just minutes. And
Mm-hmm.
I think we wiped once and had to do it again. Same thing, like he was just gone. So finally he leaves. Um, and so then, like, kind of, I mean, a couple other instances happened, but we made it through. Like, it was a slow grind. So our boss was the
Ballastarg.
no for the 32 on the Titan that kept leaving us. It
Oh,
was
that was the Fogoth, the
no
Belching one.
not Fogoth, but or what are they? Ogres. They're
Yeah,
just ogres. But yeah, so he had a ability where he would belch or do something, and it would like it says that it would slow you down, but I mean it was
dead
just
stop.
shy of a dead stop. So that was interesting because obviously we had a lot of, you know, uh, ads. I guess we had
Wizards,
wizards that
thralls.
were and wizards were the primary concern because they would sit there and do the splash damage and they would do the mists that would also slow you down.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad as the
The
ogre
special
would
builds, right?
right, but yeah, all the same. So that was an interesting bout, and then we had another one where I last night, I guess, on our alt characters, we had found one that had actually joined your stream,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, seemed like an okay kid, I guess, from what you were telling me. But
Right.
we finally get him in, and what was annoying is that
And
he
this is a level 32. And again, I'm 33, Aaron's 32. This guy's a 34.
yeah, yeah, 34, no problems. I mean, maybe have to carry me a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, at the same time, like I've got all my weapons, like
Right.
so my weapons are still doing the same damage output. It's just I have to play more cautiously because my defense and my abilities aren't, you know, maxed or whatever the case may be. But anyway, this kid really took it upon himself to like want to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, like you said, he's a 34, you're a 33, you know, and I'd like to say that I'm a somewhat experienced 32 enough to be able to like make it in the prison of elders like okay.
Right.
Um and so he just and he that's the thing though. It would have been okay had we not been like in the thick of it. But again, this kid stopped like right in the middle of like round 2 or round 3 and wouldn't play because he so desperately wanted to talk to us for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And there's purely like there's no reason.
No.
And it's like and I kept telling you I was like please like if message him like after this round is over like message him tell him to just stop and just play and he never would and it was one of those things where like you were still streaming so I was like, well, in case this kid can hear me, like I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to tell you to play the game.
Right. I sent him like
Like,
2 or 3 messages on Xbox, 2 or 3 messages on Skype, and
yeah,
still nothing. AFK.
yeah, and I don't know. I don't ever like. I don't think we ever really understood what. I mean, aside from like network connectivity issues as to why he couldn't get into the Skype call.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is like after you can't get into the call for like the umpteenth time, like just stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not, you know, and you were in the middle of a game. Like
Right.
play the game. Don't worry about socializing. And I mean, I know that sounds like, oh yeah, well that's like every game like gamers like antisocial and it's like no, it's not really about being antisocial. I mean, let's be realistic. I didn't want to talk to him.
Right. Yeah.
I don't
It's
care.
a 10-year-old
Yeah, it was a
or
younger kid.
25.
Yeah, as a younger kid, I can't deal with that. Like,
Right.
I mean, I'm a douchebag, whatever. But the thing is that what really set me over the top is that he refused to help us
Yep.
after he said that he would help us. So finally, I just had to kick him. I'm like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what? He's not listening to you. If he's watching the stream, he's not listening to me. So I can't do it. He's a crutch. Like he's.
Yep.
I mean so. I went ahead and kicked him. But the point to these stories, these situations, is that I think you and I still did better than if we would have had a third person.
I think so.
And
We
yeah, I
we
mean,
didn't we didn't go down once when we were well, yeah, one time
yeah.
during
Well,
the
I mean,
final
as far as
boss.
like wiping, like
Yeah, we never wiped.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's that, and I mean, yeah, I mean, we can kind of contribute like communication to that, but I think it's also because like obviously you and I
Play together a
play
lot.
together almost on a daily basis, so we know each other's play styles at least, subconsciously or whatever,
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like you need communication when it's 2 out of 3 players.
Yeah,
When it's all
exactly.
3 players, the
No.
communication sort of drops off. Like, okay, like everybody's pretty beast, pretty, can organize themselves and things like that. Like, just don't be an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, now that it's down to us two, yeah, communication plays a little bit more of an intricate role.
Right.
And but yeah, I mean, so we both went through. We beat the 32 prison together
Twice.
twice. Yeah, yeah, twice as as like 32s and 33s or whatever. So I mean, yeah, like one level above. And again, like I know a lot of people are like, oh, like I can solo a 32 on the weekend. Like, no, that's good for you, man. But I mean, we're sitting here and we're going to gloat a little bit, and
Yeah,
it's
it
a
felt
it's a
good.
personal triumph for us.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to the Nightfall this week, which was the Valhalla Arc, actually proved to be very, very easy.
Yes, very.
Um, I mean, of course, all you have to have is either solar or arc damage, burn weapons, and just don't be stupid, and you can go to town.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where the icebreaker came into effect, and it just made the tank section so easy.
Oh yeah.
Like it made it such a breeze. Just standing back, you never have to worry. That's what I love about the icebreakers, the recharge on the ammo, so you never have to worry about running out of special ammo and things like that. And it just does so much damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, maxed out galley
Galahorn.
on Valis and probably after one full, like, because I think maxed out the Galahorn can hold 7 rockets,
Okay.
which is insane.
Right.
So yeah, after one full use of all 7, and then obviously with help on your arc, it's such Dreamwaker, isn't it?
Dreamwaker, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if, little help from Dreamwaker rocket that does the arc burn, he goes down in not even minutes. It's literally like seconds.
Yeah.
At least under a minute, if not a minute. And so it just makes running that Nightfall so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, again, like without a third, like just you and I, just like mowing
Wreck and
through,
shop.
wreck and shop. So yeah, it definitely makes me feel pretty good. I mean, especially because, like I said, you go into these randoms, like their parties and things like that, because they're looking for, a 34 with a maxed galley,
Mm-hmm.
an ascended legendaries from the House of Wolves expansion. Like you have to be maxed out to the 9, and if you're not, then you're garbage.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, I've got a maxed galley. No, I'm not 34. At least I wasn't at the time. And I don't have any of my legendary House of Wolves weapons ascended.
Right.
And we still did just fine. And they're trying to get, they're sitting here rallying up a full group.
Yeah, of the fully maxed people.
Yeah. And it's like, just because you're a 33 or a 32 doesn't mean that you can't bring something to the table, that you can't
Mm-hmm.
help out in some way and
Right.
pass it with flying colors. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the thing,
even
though.
the first round that we played with that 34 last night, we still got more kills than he did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I
So,
mean, yeah, and I think what it is, what it boils down to with a lot of people is it's a matter of time. People don't, which is kind of funny and it's ironic. People don't actually want to play the game.
yeah, they just want to get the
People
rewards for it.
people want to go through. They want to get the rewards. They want their character card to say 34 on it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're done. They don't play the game for what it is. Now, I mean, again, I sit here and say this. Yes, you and I very systematically play this game, but we're also playing it. We're not
Yeah,
just
and
like,
we like
okay,
the challenge. Like,
yeah, it's like, okay,
honestly,
like
I
what's
like it
the-
when it's just me and you, and it's a super big challenge as opposed to
Yeah.
having 3 people.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like we're people are trying to crunch the numbers so much and trying to get like what's the quickest way, what's the quickest route to get through this, and it's like at that point you're almost sounding like you're complaining and that you just want to get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that there's no aspect or activity of Destiny that has me like that. I mean, yes, there are certain things that we kind of do where I'm like, yeah, let's just go ahead and churn this out real quick and things like that, but it's not the whole game,
Right.
you know. But again, a lot of these other people that kind of grind that out like as quick as they can are people that also do like a lot more of the Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
Like they play a lot more of the multiplayer, and I mean that's fine, I guess. But this is why again I'm looking so much forward to Taken King than ever.
Yeah, where we can just do whatever
Because
we want.
everybody can just kind of go out and do their own thing, and while there are certain aspects that you kind of have to, if you do want this one super rare thing, you do have to go play some strikes, or you do have to go play some raids, and you still have to find people to do those raids and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's not so heavily reliant on that you do those things that you don't want to do anymore, like as of now.
Right.
So that's really nice to see that. So
And that's only 10 days away, boy.
I know, man. It's awesome. We got one more week, and actually, it should go by fairly fast because I mean, you and I are both off on Monday for Labor Day, so that's one extra day of just chillaxing, playing some Destiny.
Yeah.
And, hopefully, the 4-day work week will go by pretty quick, and then we'll just have Monday that following Monday, and then
It's exciting.
yeah. Now, unfortunately, I mean, I'll still have to go to work most likely because I took vacation. I took 4 hours of vacation yesterday. So I don't know how happy they would be for me to take another 8 hours 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I might try and do something, and I think I'm gonna wait that day to see if it's stable enough to do everything. But I still kind of want to do like a 24-hour stream of it, maybe like give away a copy or something. I don't know.
Well, the only thing that I say is that try to play on one character so that like I can still come in and
right.
and you go along with me.
I would probably play as my Titan because I have been neglecting him lately.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm going to use my Spark of Light on is my Titan.
Right.
And I'm going to go. Hopefully, if you can level into your subclass, the new subclass already, I'm going to do it for the Forge or whatever it's called, the Hammer Forge or something. And it was funny because I was kind of talking to you last night. And I was like, well, because my Xbox Live handle is Wii Hammers, so I just kind of thought it would be fitting for me to take the Hammer Forge subclass for the Titan, because one of the special or the supercharge abilities is where you just like it's called Iron Forged, and you just like throw hammers everywhere,
burning hammers.
Yeah. So I just hammers, Wii Hammers, like kind of on the nose, like funny, and I'm sure people that I come across online are going to be like, oh, like Wii Hammers, like that's pretty. And I'm just going to be like, no, man, this is OG this is OG for Taken King. So, but aside from just wanting to be silly with the name and everything, I just want to play. I just want to be able to get a little bit more FaceTime with the Titan, because I feel like I've played quite a bit of the Hunter class now. Because as of right now, like I still love my Warlock. Hunter is okay.
It's still the fan favorite. It always will be.
Yeah. So I
like the Titan now. I think it's still probably my favorite character, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's not like nobody else out in the world likes, or that he doesn't like playing as a Titan or whatever.
Right.
So I mean, but it's just one of those things where, I don't know. I mean, yeah, obviously I've spent the most time with the Warlock, so that would kind of give way to being like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, that's why you like it so much. But I mean, at the same time, like I could have popped on the Hunter and immediately been like, whoa, what have I been doing with my life? Why haven't I played a Hunter the whole time? And unfortunately, the Hunter just didn't
do it for you. Yeah.
So
I'm not talking about my baby like that. I got so many hours of game time with that.
Right now, I will say I do like the and I used it to my benefit last night in the prison of elders and stuff, but I do like the, crouching for a short time gives you invisibility. I like hitting, doing the melee blink strike, landing one of those hits gives you invisibility like that. It allows you to kind of catch your breath, or if you need to recharge your shield and things like that. Like, I do like that. I like that a lot. But again, just kind of it's something weird. Like, it's just something that you can only understand by spending time with that class,
Right.
and playing as that character. So, but anyway, I think we're going to try to hit up another short stream today. So about 45 minutes total. So we got about 10 minutes left.
Well, yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about Metal Gear. You haven't talked
Yeah.
about that
So we got 10 minutes here. We'll kind of keep it brief here, but yeah. So I kind of went game crazy this past paycheck, and I say game crazy, and only bought like 2 games, but I finally picked up PGA Tour. They had it on sale for $40, and now that I've actually gotten to play it and do the online stuff, yeah, it is still very limited compared to the previous years. Actually, not that bad though. Not as bad as like what the reviews were saying and things like that. Really kind of surprised. I picked it up because my brother-in-law picked it up.
Right.
It's kind of the only reason why, because that was something before it came out. He and I had agreed that like that was going to be our game to like play online and hang out and stuff like that. So
Sure.
So I messaged him up and I'm like, hey, they've got PGA Tour for $40 digital. You could actually play it during that weekend. And so, he was like, all right, well, let me download it. Let me try it. And so, of course, like the next day, he's like, hey, man, I think I'm going to get it if you do. And I was like, why not?
Right.
So, boom, dropped $40. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Even for the, even for the casual, like, pick up and play, like, every other few weeks or so, like, over time, I think it'll be well worth its $40. But that night, literally the same night, like, I had gotten PGA Tour and I was kind of playing through it and stuff. And I had looked earlier that day, like on PlayStation, and of course, like on the store, like right in front was like Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, and and I'd played Ground Zeroes. I had seen gameplay videos of Phantom Pain that they've been showing off at conferences and conventions and things like that, and I think, as I mentioned in earlier episodes, I really enjoyed Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots for PlayStation 3. And that's actually one of the only Metal Gears that I have picked up from the beginning and completed all the way through.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, of course, that's not completionist. I just, as far as the storyline goes, I played, like, I hit every chapter. I didn't do the completionist portion of it or whatever. But
right.
all in all, very fun. As far as stealth games are concerned, like, that's kind of like one of the only titles that I'll play that's stealth, because I'm generally like a impatient person, especially when it comes to video games. Like, I like to like run and be up in the action, and so I still play Metal Gear pretty sloppily. Like, I'm actually recording gameplay footage of me, like, kind of going through the story. I'll tell you about one interesting mechanic, but going back, like, yeah, even with Metal Gear being that espionage game, stealth, I still, like, I'm just like really bad at it. But anyway, the interesting thing with this Metal Gear is that it's surprisingly, like, got a big open world aspect to it. And so from the looks of it, it looks like there's like 2 open areas. There's Afghanistan, and then there's crap. You read off the other area to me. I can't remember it though, but one's Afghanistan, and then there's another big open area. But you have missions. You have your main story missions that'll happen in those areas. Like, right now, I'm still in the Afghanistan map, because it's like, what's great is I love the games that when you go back to the main menu, it tells you your completion, like your overall completion, and I'm like 3%.
Right.
So I've been doing, and I've played for a little bit over 3 hours now, so I've been doing 1% per hour, and I feel like I've like completed so much. But you can do the main story missions, but there's also things to collect in the map. On the map, there's side quests to do on the map. It's really cool because you have a base, and I think you may have saw it.
Yeah,
like,
the mother
right
base.
like right when I finished at the first recording that I did. And now you actually can get recruits. You can, when you knock people out, like, like your enemies, you knock them out, you tie them up to this little balloon. Like, if you're familiar with the Dark Knight movie, where he does the expedition of the Chinese, like, banker or whatever, and he puts that balloon on him.
Yeah, and then he gets caught by
It's literally what it is. Yeah.
Nice,
So you, like, wrap up a little balloon on them, and they, like, get zipped up into the air. But you do that, and they will go back to your base. That you send them back to the mother base, and then they get evaluated as what their strengths are as far as like R&D, like basically different developments. So did you ever play XCOM?
No, I didn't.
No? Okay, so it's kind of similar to like XCOM though, where you have researchers or you have scientists, and depending on how many scientists or skill level that you get in that, it helps you develop better equipment or things like that. And so it's kind of the same thing. Like you rally all these people, and sometimes when you go back to the mother base after completing missions or things like that, you'll get just volunteers. And so what's pretty funny is at the start of it, I think it's mission 2 or 3, you get dropped down. It's right after you get I can't even remember what they're called, but right after you get the balloons, you get like landfall or whatever, and there's this like wild pup right at the beginning, and he like walks up to you and he's like barking and stuff like that, and like Ocelot over the radio is like, oh man, like that's a cute little pup, like you probably just better leave him alone. To which I responded with, tying him up, and I zipped him away and finished the mission, went back to Mother Base, and actually did this whole cutscene of like I landed and the pup like ran up to me, and apparently now he's gonna play an intricate part as what they call a buddy. So like right now, and you saw where I have like the horse that kind of helps me get around the map. He's going to apparently be another type of buddy that perhaps like will go on missions with me once he grows up.
That's
and
nice.
Can like help like defend me and stuff like that. So it was really cool because like me as playing a Snake, like picked him up and everything, and hit like Snake and Ocelot were talking, and Ocelot was like, yeah, like he could probably prove to be worthy once he grows up. So I can only assume that that's what's going to happen. Like,
Sure.
But it's funny because it's one of those things where I didn't have to do that.
Right, you could have just
And
walked away.
Yeah, and if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have then I wouldn't have him as a buddy, and that perhaps could make something harder in the long run.
Heck yeah.
So I definitely like the way that they're going with that. And then there's other like blips on the map and stuff where it's like extract a linguistics, like a language expert. Before I did that, because like kind of the primary enemy in the areas are Russian. Before I extracted the language expert, I would walk up to people, or I would be like looking at them through my binoculars, and the microphone would pick them up. They'd be speaking Russian. I don't know what they say. Even with closed captions on, I had no idea what they were saying. As soon as I acquired that language expert,
they translate for you.
The closed captions started appearing. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's a little like...
Yeah, it just makes it neat.
Yeah, it's really cool. It actually adds like a lot of realism. I mean, as much realism as you can get to a video game. I mean,
Sure.
Obviously, like, you didn't learn Russian immediately as soon as you acquired them. But, I mean, the idea is that, oh, well, now this guy is translating for you on the field, like while you're in the field.
Right.
And the thing is that you didn't have that ability until you acquired them. So, I don't know. It's really cool things like that. Another thing which adds to replayability is the fact that you can go back and replay story missions, and each mission has its own little subset that gives you extra. I guess it's their currency in the game,
Okay.
and that helps you for development of equipment and things like that.
Gotcha.
So as you so one example of this was I had a target that whoever contracted me out just wants him flat out dead.
Okay.
So the first time I went in, and I actually got caught off guard, and the target walked into the building that I was creeping around in. So I just shot him right in the face. I was like, well, so then I had to fight my way out because like my suppressor broke because I like, killed him with my assault rifle, and laying down on the trigger broke my suppressor, which
Wow.
alerted everybody else in the compound, which I
Mm-hmm.
had to, it was pretty interesting. So, I completed the mission, I got out safe, but there were like still four other tasks, and the other one is eliminate the target from over 100 meters away,
Like
which I did.
don't alert anybody.
Well, I did it with a sniper rifle that didn't have a suppressor on it because, again, I'm not that high of a level to research the
Mm.
suppressor for a sniper, apparently. But I still eliminated them from 100 miles, 100 meters away.
This is a good shot.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Yeah, 100 meters away. And another one is if you actually just knock them out and then get them on one of those balloons and extract them. And then apparently the idea is that you take him back to the mother base, extract him, and get additional information for, say, a future mission or something.
Gotcha.
But the thing is that they add all of those in there, and you can go back and play those missions at any time, and that adds so much replay value,
Sure.
which is awesome, especially for a single player game.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, I think our one thing to wrap up here is Xbox is, which I mean, we've already kind of seen like bundles and things like that since its launch, but now they're actually coming out with an Elite console. I've looked up very little about this just because I'm not going to be the person to go in, trade my console that I have now, and spend hundreds of more dollars on
The same thing.
essentially the same console. The one thing is that I believe it will come with a 1 terabyte. It's going to be a hybrid.
Yeah, it's going to be an SSD for the operating system with the HDD for the
Yeah.
game.
So loading will be
20% more efficient.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I read.
right,
20%.
right. Which I was reading something, and apparently, like that only applies to certain situations. Like
Yeah,
not every, not
it's
everything.
only in the OS of it because that's the only thing that's on the flash drive. So you're only getting faster snap loading. You're getting faster, like when you click on friends, like it's going to load the friends faster. The boot up is going to be 20% faster. So is
I
it
mean,
really
again,
worth
like,
it? I mean, come on.
as far as the booting up goes, I mean, if you keep it in power save mode, your boot is already going to be pretty significant. Now, I will say, even with me being in the preview program, which probably has a little bit to do with it, I would like to see a significant improvement as far as like how quickly things snap, how responsive things are, because there are certain times where you go and you load into something and it just sits there.
Yeah.
And or what I'm most common to seeing is that apps will just flat out crash.
Yeah.
They time out as far as loading. So, I mean, if that's what you're bringing to the table, that's cool. It's still not going to sell me on it, though.
No.
Another good selling point, though, is that new Elite controller,
Yes.
which is the modular controller.
I'm getting that.
Which is, yeah, it seems pretty cool. I would like to have one, but it's also $150
By itself.
alone.
Yeah.
But apparently it's really cool. As far as like the extra triggers and things like that, it's all magnetic. So you just
Swap
just
them.
put it back up in, and then it just takes hold of it, like it just snaps into place. And then of course it's easily you just pull it out and swap and do all that other stuff.
Yeah, the only thing I really, if I could just use it on my Xbox, I probably would never even mess with it. But because you can use it with your Windows PC and like use it for gaming on there, yeah, definitely, because those are all programmable.
Right.
So yeah, definitely, I'm gonna put down the cash for that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll probably be something that I look at later on. But I mean, $150 for a controller, man. I mean,
It's pretty intense, yeah.
it's unheard of for me.
Right.
I mean, I had people that I knew that spent over $200 on 360 controllers that like the online companies would like modify for you. And like those are where like your first truly like customized modular controllers came from. Of course, I say modular, and I mean, obviously they were just customized. You couldn't change it right then. But that's where you'd get like the crazy, like I guess you can say faceplates for your controllers and things like that. But again, at that point, you're spending well over $200 if you wanted like a really good setup and a really good custom job on it.
Right.
So I mean, I guess $150, and it's not considered illegal because it's
Yeah,
coming out
it's
by
from the
Microsoft.
yeah,
So
exactly, right from the manufacturer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not going to get kicked off of Xbox Live for using
I
these.
have a trigger mod or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. So, oh yeah, yeah. The only other thing that I would say that is pretty cool that I kind of wish they had from the beginning is now this console is going to be all matte. So you're not
Instead
going to
of
have
the
that.
glossy
Yeah,
finish.
so you're not going to have the one matte, like one half matte, other half matte, or other half gloss. It's all going to be matte, so you're
Yeah,
not
I
going to
would
have to
like that
worry about
too.
getting the glossy side all scratched up and
Fingerprinted.
whatever. Yeah, which is unfortunate. I really wish they would get away from the gloss finish. And it's one of the things where I think a lot of people complained about it on the past generation consoles, being the PS3 and
Mm-hmm.
the 360, and I don't know why Sony and Microsoft continue to
Still
still
did
do
it.
this.
Yeah, I know.
Because I bought my PS4 pre-owned, and the entire like gloss half is just like I
Mhm.
mean now it's not so much because I of a deal because I've lived with it for so long,
Right.
but that like first month of
Yeah,
having
when
it,
you
like I would
buy
just
it and it's
like I would just
scratched,
look
you're
at
like,
it and I'd be like,
"Ugh."
man, that is so like scuffed up, so scratched up. Um, and it's one of those things where it's like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like you have really just like done damage to your console, like because
Yeah.
you can't get those scratches out. I mean, as far as I know, but but yeah. So I think it's like I think that whole bundle for that Elite console bundle is 500.
I mean, that's
So
not.
again,
I
not
mean, yeah,
bad.
not. I mean, if the controller's of 150 and you're
Hmm.
getting that with it, I guess it's not.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid 500 for this
I was
when
gonna
it
say
came
if I can actually like sell this one for like 300, I might as well just get the bundle so I can get the terabyte hard drive.
out.
Because I won't be spending 50 more bucks to get the.
Yeah,
Huh, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're usually the one to do this kind of thing, so
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you. But yeah, again, kind of a short episode, very very general yet specific at the same time, just because not again like we've done more of the same. We've played more Destiny. We finally reached 34.
Mm-hmm.
Plan to do it with at least
One more character.
yeah, one more character each before 2 weeks come up. I've been playing Metal Gear, which talked about. I'm really enjoying it, and look to be playing it for quite a while.
Yeah, we should.
So
I know we talk about video games a lot. And I don't know how many people actually listen to these, but I have a channel. I don't use the Twitch one anymore. I think I'm actually going to be done with Twitch completely. So next week we're actually probably going to be streaming this live on YouTube. So I'll put the link there at the bottom. Mine is my channel on YouTube is Twiggy Gaming, Twiggie Gaming. So check us out there. I have a bunch of clips you can watch us actually play instead of actually just listening to us about what we play. You can be like, oh, I wanted to go watch them do that Nightfall that they did by themselves. You can go watch it. And then Aaron's is actually jclark23, and that's at Twitch. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, until which I guess I can bring up real quick. I really won't be on the YouTube gaming unless I do something on the PC because I don't have a capture card. So, of course, Xbox One doesn't have YouTube like streaming capabilities, but right now, which I don't have the ability to because I refuse to do any more betas, Sony actually has in their beta software system right now the YouTube streaming.
cool.
So hopefully that'll get sent out pretty quickly in a stable build, and then I can actually start doing that through PlayStation.
Right.
But for now, yeah, like he said, you can still catch me at Twitch. I will upload my archives to my YouTube channel,
Okay.
but they're also going to be archived on Twitch. So
Okay.
for anybody that cares to have a look of just, like I said, I kind of started out playing Metal Gear as like this is a story playthrough, like this is going to be boom, 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 chapter. Now I'm realizing how much of an open world, like build 'em up game it is. That most of my gameplays are going to be like some story, probably quite a bit of like open world shenanigans, like
Sure.
doing side quests and doing R&D development and all that other stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, if you want to see what the game is like and want to do it the hard way, instead of popping onto YouTube and watching literally anybody else in the world, you can catch me at jclark23 on Twitch. So, but anyway, as per usual, give us a like, subscribe on the YouTube channels, The Old Noodle, and that's TheOleNoodle. So you can find that at twitch.com/. You can also do that by just searching on YouTube, just typing in that name. Give us a subscribe on that. Follow us on the Twitch. Although again, I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, I think this might actually. I don't think this might be the. We didn't even stream this today, so I think the Twitch shoutout's going to be done for now. I think just to make it easier on me, with the immediate archive to YouTube.
Yeah,
I just
that's
gotta
definitely
go
a good.
with it.
It's a good selling point. But as far as you can also reach out to us on Twitter. It's just at TheOleNoodle. Don't screw that up. The noodle. But
the
anyway,
old noodle.
Yeah, but anyway, any kind of support is, of course,
greatly appreciated.
Greatly appreciated. So yeah, until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.